Hey everyone, welcome. Today I have for you this beautiful autumn Deco mesh swag in beautiful soft fall color tones. This is a pretty one. This one is very easy to create, and in today's tutorial I am going to show you how I constructed this swag. Welcome back to my current subscribers and to all visiting my channel today. Please remember to subscribe, give this tutorial a thumbs up if you like my content, and share this video with your friends and family and acquaintances. I appreciate your support of my relatively new channel as I hope to grow and evolve in the future. I love having this platform to share my passion for creativity and crafting. Okay then, let's get busy creating this very, very pretty autumn Deco mesh swag. Okay, let's look at the materials that we will need to create this piece. I use these painter's sticks that I got at Home Depot. You could get these most anywhere in the paint department. They're very inexpensive. And I also have some of these craft sticks, the thicker ones. I'm going to be using these to construct the frame for the swag. I got this beautiful Deco mesh at Hobby Lobby. I always get it on their 40% off sale, which is pretty much every other week. I have a selection of ribbons, of course. I'll be making a bow. I ended up using that beautiful one there, the burlap color one, from Walmart, and as well the other off-white burlap, which is a Celebrate ribbon that I got at Michael's. I have these other ribbons here, the plaid, the one with the leaves. I wasn't sure at the onset of this project exactly which one I was going to use, but typically I do that. I gather a lot of materials together, and then I make a decision as I go along what I'm going to use. I got this wood Hello Fall sign. I love the letters and the script. I got that at Hobby Lobby in the 40% off section. With all of the autumn items, I have a piece of scrapbook paper there, actually 2 pieces, with some autumn tones and autumn colors in the paper pattern. I'm going to cover those letters with a piece of scrapbook paper. I have these really awesome little pumpkins. I'm not sure what you call the material that they're covered with, but I just love them. And those I found in the section with the longer florals. And I have a couple of those grapevine pumpkins there, which I actually didn't use, but they're beautiful for any wreath or swag. And then I have the pumpkin there, which I thought I was going to go with this paper, but I ended up not actually using that Hello Fall sign, but I am going to show you how I did it in the event that you want to create something like that to put on a wreath. I just felt it was a little bit big for the swag that I made. I have these beautiful buttery looking, they just look like butter to me, hydrangeas from Hobby Lobby. Again, you can't beat Hobby Lobby's florals. They're absolutely gorgeous. And here we have more. I was keeping this swag in kind of a softer autumn tones. I didn't want orange in the swag. I really favor like these softer tones. And those florals that I just had in my hand, absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what they're technically called, but I call them cattails. Some beautiful leaves that I got at Hobby Lobby. And I got this bag of pine cones and acorns at Hobby Lobby as well. in the same autumn decor department. Those acorns there came from Dollar Tree, and some smaller pine cones, which also came from Hobby Lobby. You will need scissors, hot glue gun, glue sticks, and I'm looking for my wire cutters there. You'll need those. And I also thought I was going to use my miter shears to cut those craft sticks, but I ended up just using scissors. It actually did a better job than the miter shears. And there you have it. Okay, so here's that pretty Hello Fall sign. I really loved it. And I thought it was going to go on this piece, but, you know, we could change our mind as crafters, and that's indeed what I did on this piece. But I needed a little bit more than just one piece of scrapbook paper, so I put a little masking tape on the back and added a little bit of section of paper on there. And now I'm just going to trace around all of those really beautiful letters. I think this is such a pretty wood cutout. But anyway, so I traced around the entire piece, and I Mod Podged that on that sign. I cut it out first, of course, which was a little bit tedious, but I did it. And then here we have it, resting on the sign, on the wood sign there. And I have some Mod Podge. Then I'm going to go ahead and Mod Podge that directly onto that wood sign. I always use just a sponge applicator, a paper plate, and I got smart a few months ago and started putting my Mod Podge in a squirt bottle, like the kind that you put ketchup and mustard in. I guess that's most commonly what the use is for. But boy, it just is a great thing because I was always pouring out too much Mod Podge and then having to scoop it up and put the remainder back in the jar. And now I just squirt out little bits at a time. So that's a really great thing. It only took me 20 years to figure that out. Oh my gosh. We evolve. No matter how much we craft, we still evolve through time, and we get more craft savvy, if you will. Okay, so I took 2 of those painter's sticks, and this is going to be my base for my swag. Now, I've seen other people do this using only one, but I kind of like this method better. I always tend to have my own ideas about things, and this was my kind of frame creation. So I cut those painter sticks to make kind of like crossbars, and I used wood glue to attach that all together. Now I'm going to take a lot of pipe cleaners. I ended up using 10 pipe cleaners down each side, and I put them on the wood pieces or the painter sticks so that they would point out toward the outside of each side. And then I also, as you can see, I added a few more. Looks like a crazy spider or something. It's really crazy. I have a lot of pipe cleaners on there, but it really was advantageous because I like the poofs, if you will, on my swags. I don't like them big and poofy. I like them smaller. So I needed the extra pipe cleaners in order to accomplish that. I put a little hanger at the top just with a pipe cleaner. Now, as I said, I put 10 pointing out to each side, and then I put 1 in each of the cross sections there with those craft sticks. And then every open section, I put 1 extra pipe cleaner pointing to the middle, if any of that made sense. So 10 down each side, one on each of the cross sections, and then every section I put one extra one pointing inward, because we have to fill up the center. And those 10 on each side will allow me to do all of my little, I guess we could call them poofs, all up and down the sides. And then I have to go straight down the middle and fill in the rest of the area. Now, the way that I do mine is I create a poof, and I want to say it's about 10 inches long. Now, if you are more comfortable measuring everything out, you can do so, but I'm going to tell you it's about 10 inches. And again, I don't like really big poofs because I think what happens in the end, if you use larger poofs, is they start looking more like a pancake. They start flattening out, and you don't get that nice puffy, poofy look, if you want to put it that way. Oh my goodness, all the words that I use to describe things. But what I do is I create my poof, and then I press it together at the base, and then I wrap a pipe cleaner around it. This is super easy to do. And again, I may not do things like others do, but, you know, I always have my own unique little way of doing things. And in this case, this is how I do my poofs. So I take about 10 inches of Deco mesh. I create my poof, gather it up on the side, and then I attach it at the base, squeezing it together, and then I find a pipe cleaner to just wrap it around. Don't get too crazy about worrying which pipe cleaner goes to which side. Just grab a pipe cleaner. That's why we have all of them on there, just to be able to attach this Deco mesh in this fashion. So as long as you have one that you can reach and grab and wrap around the base of the poofs, that's all that matters. And you can certainly see there, I have enough. Now, I am crazy for the pipe cleaners from Hobby Lobby. I am not a Dollar Tree pipe cleaner fan. They're very flimsy and not great to work with. So I'm going to recommend that you get your pipe cleaners somewhere elsewhere than Dollar Tree. I love Hobby Lobby pipe cleaners. They have thicker ones, and then they have the regular ones. These happen to be just the standard pipe cleaner, but they do the trick, and they're more sturdy to work with. So I'm going to go all the way around the perimeter of that wood frame. And you can see I did that there. Look at the beautiful poofs. This Deco mesh made the most beautiful swag. I absolutely love it. And this is a very good quality Deco mesh. Very easy to work with. No fraying. And here we are in the center. And again, I gather up about 10 inches of Deco mesh. I make a poof. I grab it at the base, squish it together, take a pipe cleaner, just reach for one, find whichever one you can grab, wrap it around the base. And in some cases, if I had a little piece of pipe cleaner that was adjacent to it, I would just connect it to that as well. Just kind of holding it together. That's not necessary. That's just kind of something I do. I do the same thing when I do a Deco mesh wreath, where I do like the bubble or the, I don't know, there's so many names for methods of applying Deco mesh. But this is kind of more like a poof method, I think. And again, 10 inches, around 10 inches. After you apply enough of these, you really will be able to just eyeball it. But when I'm at the base, which I'm pointing at right now, I squish the base together, holding that construction of my poof. And there's a pipe cleaner, and I wrap it around the base to secure it, and then I give it a twist, and it's nice and secure in there. Now I'm going to do this all the way down the center. Now, if you wanted to make this a centerpiece, which would look gorgeous on a long rectangular table, you can take a wood round, or you could apply a few craft sticks going across the frame in the center, and you could put a jar candle in there and just make it like a centerpiece. This is the same construction that you would use for a centerpiece. And that would look gorgeous. You could put florals in there and stick some pumpkins in there. You could put a bow on each side. Oh, it would be gorgeous. And if you put those cross pieces, like maybe a wood round, you could put a jar candle in the middle. I would just use a jar candle. That way there's nothing to catch on fire. There's the back side. Looks kind of messy. If you wanted to do this for a client or just a gift, or for, just to give to someone as a gift, you could take some felt and cut out a piece of oblong felt, approximately the size of the swag, and just hot glue that on. And then you would have a nice soft underside and finished look for your centerpiece if you wanted to use it as such. And of course, here we have the bow construction. Now, this isn't a bow tutorial. I will put my bow tutorials, list them in the description box. And if you would like to learn to make bows like I do, please refer to those tutorials. They're done in a slow, methodical, detailed manner, and you too can make bows like I do. You just have to sit down, watch the tutorial, and practice. Now I'm going to create a base here, which is that pretty burlap ribbon from Walmart. I got that in their seasonal department. And I created a base, 2 loops on each side. I want to say the loops are about 10 inches. And then I put that burlap ribbon, that Celebrate off-white burlap ribbon on top of that. And those loops are around 8 inches with a button in the middle or a center loop. Now you'll notice on there that I added a ribbon. I decided that burlap next to that Deco mesh was getting a kind of lost, not really noticeable so much on that piece. So I decided to add something else as a base. And I used that ribbon on a previous video on an autumn wreath, and I absolutely love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful color for autumn, that buffalo check, and it's just looked so pretty on that piece. All right, so now what I'm doing is just placing my florals, starting with my largest. This sunflower is absolutely exquisite. You can actually see the little veins in the petals, which happen to match the buffalo check rusty orange in that ribbon, which is so super pretty. I decided to add a little something to this swag, and it happens to be a little gnome that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. Now that little gnome has a hole in his hat, so with those little paper leaves that I was just pointing out, I'm going to put the leaf on his hat. But first, I'm continuing to apply my florals, just trying out my placement before I glue anything down. And I have those beautiful pieces there, those, I call them cattails. I like those kind of pointing downward. And then I applied one of those pumpkins below the sunflower, and I decided to just set that little gnome in that swag. I think it is just kind of a cute touch. Since I abandoned my Hello Fall sign, I wanted a little something on that swag. I put one of those other pumpkins up at the top, and now I'm just placing in some leaves. Now, these leaves do not have to have a stem on them. Lots of times I cut my leaves free, and then I just use a little bit of hot glue and I apply them and just let them stick to whatever is surrounding them. You can use your pieces, your larger pieces, to support your smaller elements. I'm telling you guys this, but it works great. So I am going to place one of those little paper leaves. They are so pretty. I got those in the same aisle in the autumn department at Hobby Lobby. I used those on my gnome sign, and they're just so cute. Just really cute little paper leaves. I decided I was going to have that gnome standing in a little patch of raffia. So you see how this project is evolving. I went from a sign that I didn't use, and ribbon that I thought I was going to use and I didn't. So it's okay to change your mind as much as you want when you're doing a craft project. I'm going to take you for a little tour of how I finally applied my florals. From a better vantage point, it's a little difficult to show you everything with a very long piece like this on a table. But I put my gnome in there. I put a couple of those paper leaves around, a little pine cone, and the little gnome is standing in a patch of raffia. I have one of those pretty pumpkins there. I applied some acorns. Love this sunflower. Oh my gosh. Notice that I put a maple leaf, a brown leaf, to frame out my sunflower. Look at that beautiful bow. All those beautiful autumn soft colors. Love, love. Some acorns on the other side. A little pine cone. One of those fabulous little pumpkins. And look, I put one of those long pine cones right down at the bottom with those cattails pointing down. So pretty at the bottom. This piece is just beautiful. This would look gorgeous on a door, maybe in the entryway of your home, like above a table with other autumn decor. It has so much potential. Maybe in your kitchen or dining area. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. I just love it. Now I added a couple of more things I wanted to show you at the top. I added another one of those pumpkins to fill up that top area. I felt it needed something. And look, I did a small bow, but I did the reverse of the way I had it below. I put the buffalo check on top and the off-white burlap on the bottom. So see, that's really a cool thing to do if you're going to use use two bows on a particular piece. Change the ribbon order. That creates visual interest. That's something I do a lot. And by the way, look at this cute wreath hanger that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I love it. And I thought that would look so pretty. If you had it on a door, you could use that cute sunflower wreath hanger. Okay. All right. I will see you next time on the next video. I have a perfectly fabulous Halloween wreath up next. Until next time, you all take care.